Hi Terry. Hopefully this video makes the map assessment part a little more clear. It was really confusing to me the first time I did it. Basically, the only tricky part is all the different little boxes you have to click. So to get to maps, just click on this link that I've left right here in this green box. So click on that and it should, in theory, take you to the correct website. If for some reason that link isn't working, just go to Google Chrome, right? Just Google Chrome and then press this button here, Maps Login Page. If you click on that, it'll take you to the exact same place. I left my username and password on the notes. If you could not let kids see that, that would be awesome. So go ahead and get logged in there. Okay, now what you want to do here is manage test sessions. It's over here on the left, so we'll click that. Excuse me. Then we've already started our testing session, so we need to go down here where it says saved testing sessions. Click on that. Now this is the only one that I should have open. That's the one we're using. It says harm 5007. That's just the random session name, so that's clicked. We're going to go to test now, and then it takes us here. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky because you have to assign the specific tests to the kids that need them. So we started off with the language 2 to 12 Common Core test. So if you look at that list, you'll see a whole bunch of kids on that list. So we'll just do this as an example. So for example, the first two kids on that list are Sabina Bear and Madison Bigsby. In fact, Owen Boyersmith is also on there, but Corbin Cherry's not. He finished that one. So you'll go through and click the box next to the name for the kid on all the language 212 tests. Now, there's all these bars up here. You're going to go to assign test. And then for the test, since these are the kids on the language 2 to 12 Common Core list, we're going to click that test and we're going to click assign. Now, at that point, technically the kids could sign in. The password and session name that they need to sign in are located right here, so you can write those on the board. They won't be this, well, that'll be the same. This won't be the same. Before you write that on the board, though, I would recommend getting it checked for every kid. So, if you look on the list under reading 2 and 5, the first kids on that list are Corbin Cherry and Colin Kent. So we'll click Corbin Cherry and Colin Kent, and then, we'd of course finish that out. And then we'd assign the test for those kids, and for those kids, we're going to go to reading 2 to 5 Common Core. And we're going to assign that test to those students. Now, after you have the test assigned to all the kids, up here, this 0 will change to however many kids have been able to successfully sign in. So I usually click the refresh status button a lot because otherwise you have to wait for the page to refresh. And then as just numbers pop up here, you just click confirm now, and then they should be able to finish the test. Now, the part that gets tricky is when kids finish the test or if for some reason it just kicks them out. So once a kid finishes the test, they can't just sign back in and automatically take the next test. The other tricky thing is this status bar here, this needs to say awaiting student or suspended in order to assign a test. So for example, let's say that Sabina Bear finishes her test, which she should if she's here today. That means that this status will say completed. So what you have to do is you have to click her box, you have to go select action, and you have to go test again. So you have to click test again, and then it will then say awaiting student. Then you'll have to select it again and assign her the next test. So if she finishes the first one, then she'll go to reading. Now, where it gets really tricky, and it's not tricky, it's just annoying. Let's say a kid gets kicked out of the test. So this happened a couple times today. For example, like Madison brought me her iPad and it had kicked her out of the system. It's back on the login screen, but her status still says testing. So you have to click on this, you have to click select action, and you have to click pause. And then that will change this to paused. So then you will have to check her again, now that it says paused, and go to suspend. That will then stop her testing that session, suspend. So then that will then wait for this to say suspend. Then you'll have to click on it, click test again, and then that will give you the awaiting student. Then you have to click on it and click assign tests and assign her back to the test that she was taking. So it can be a little bit tricky. Oh, and then one other thing is when it's time to be done, when it's time for them to go to recess, don't click log out. You need to click end testing session. So go ahead and click end testing session. And then this is the important part. You need to click save and exit. Not delete, save and exit. That way we can continue testing the next day. So we've now hit save and exit. Now that we're there, then you can click log out. You can click OK. And hopefully that